Picture this. One aircraft program that costs more than the entire GDP of most countries. We're talking about a staggering $2.1 trillion over its lifetime. The F-35 Lightning II isn't just the world's most expensive fighter jet. It's the most expensive military program in human history. And here's the kicker. Despite burning through more money than the Marshall Plan, the Manhattan Project, and the Apollo program combined, this stealth fighter is now rolling off production lines at a rate of 20 jets per month. 19 countries are flying it or begging to buy it. So the real question is, can any weapons system actually be worth $2 trillion? Let's start with one good fact. As of 2025, the US has around 630 operational F-35s and plans to buy at least 1,800 more. And America's not alone. Globally, the F-35 program has gone viral, with 19 countries either operating or ordering these jets. It's officially the largest international fighter program in history. That includes NATO allies like the UK, Italy, and Norway, partners in the Pacific like Japan and Australia, and more recent additions like Greece, which signed on for 20 jets in 2024 with an $8.6 billion deal. This isn't just a popular jet, it's a geopolitical membership card. Now let's talk production. After years of development delays and budget drama, the F-35 program has shifted into overdrive. In 2024, 110 aircraft were delivered. By the end of 2025, that number could climb to nearly 190 per year. That's more than 15 jets per month on average. Compare that to older programs, and it's clear the F-35 is an industrial juggernaut. But with great production comes a massive price tag. The program's lifetime cost has ballooned from $200 billion in 2001 to $1.7 trillion in 2023 to $2.1 trillion today. For context, that's more than the GDP of Russia, 10 times the cost of the Apollo moon landings, and more than the US spends on education annually. But this isn't just the cost of planes. The total includes $485 billion for acquisition, plus over $1.5 trillion for maintenance, upgrades, training, and operations through the year 2088. Yep, you heard that right. The Pentagon plans to fly this aircraft for over 60 years. So what do you get for $2.1 trillion? A fifth-generation, stealth-enabled, data-driven, AI-assisted fighter jet designed not just to survive in hostile skies, but to own them. Let's break it down. Stealth. The F-35's radar signature is smaller than a golf ball. Enemy radars struggle to see it coming until it's too late. Sensor fusion. The jet pulls data from multiple onboard and external sensors and displays a unified tactical picture to the pilot. It's like giving one person the vision of an entire squadron. Networking. The F-35 talks to other jets, drones, satellites, and ground forces in real time. It's less a lone wolf, more a flying Wi-Fi router for warfare. Helmet. The pilot's helmet, which costs $400,000, lets them see through the jet using infrared cameras mounted all around the airframe. It's part heads-up display, part Iron Man. Weapon systems. From air-to-air missiles to precision ground strikes, the F-35 is built for multi-domain combat, making it both a sword and a shield in modern warfare. To understand how we got here, we need to go back to the 1990s. The Cold War had ended, but America's air fleet was aging, full of aircraft designed in the 70s and 80s. The Pentagon wanted a unified solution, one plane to rule them all. The result was the Joint Strike Fighter program, a single modular jet to serve the Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps, each with their own needs. The F-35A, Air Force, conventional takeoff and landing. The F-35B, Marines, short takeoff and vertical landing for ships and forward bases. The F-35C, Navy, carrier capable with reinforced landing gear and larger wings. 3 different missions, 1 base design. In theory, efficient. In practice, a logistical and engineering nightmare. Each variant had to meet totally different flight profiles while maintaining shared systems. That meant endless design changes, delays, and ballooning costs. But it wasn't just a US project. From the beginning, the F-35 was designed as an international partnership. Countries like the UK, Australia, Italy, Canada, and Norway helped fund the program and earned industrial roles in return, from manufacturing components to assembling entire jets. This global supply chain was supposed to spread out costs, but it also introduced political complexities. If one country backed out, others could lose access to crucial parts.
Then came Turkey, once a key partner, later ejected from the program in 2019 after it purchased Russian missile systems. That move sent a clear signal. Buying into the F-35 means buying into America's security architecture. The real kicker is the F-35 started production before it finished development, a decision called concurrency. The idea was to speed things up, but it meant early jets had flaws that required expensive retrofits later. From design changes to structural issues to software bugs, concurrency turned out to be a costly gamble. And speaking of software, the F-35 runs on over 8 million lines of code. For comparison, the Space Shuttle had about 400,000. That makes the F-35 a flying supercomputer, and keeping it updated has been a major challenge. Early attempts at predictive maintenance software like ALIS were plagued with bugs and were eventually replaced by Odin. Even today, maintenance and logistics remain fragile, heavily reliant on Lockheed Martin's proprietary systems. Then there's the upcoming Block 4 modernization, a $16.5 billion effort to add even more capabilities, enhanced radar, new missiles, better jamming, and improved AI. But delays in software instability have pushed back the rollout, and with the Pentagon trying to limit flight hours to manage costs, some critics are asking, are we spending billions on a jet we're afraid to fly? Here's where things get even more interesting. Despite its high costs and public controversies, the F-35 has become the gold standard for modern fighter aircraft and a powerful diplomatic tool. Take Japan, buying over 150 F-35s including carrier-launched variants. In a region surrounded by China, North Korea, and Russia, these jets don't just strengthen Japan's military, they reinforce its alignment with the US. Or Finland, which chose the F-35 over European alternatives like the Gripen and Eurofighter. The choice, announced shortly before joining NATO, was strategic as well as technical. Meanwhile, Israel operates its own customized version, the F-35I, Adir, featuring Israeli-made systems and unique software modifications. It's tailored for electronic warfare, precision strikes, and missile defense, with autonomy built in. These jets don't just fly. They signal alliances, shape strategies, and extend American influence without firing a shot. But there's a catch. The F-35's sustainment costs are astronomical. The aircraft requires specialized fuel, custom spare parts, complex logistics, and proprietary tools only Lockheed Martin can supply. That creates long-term dependency. Even allied countries must rely on US systems for upgrades and maintenance. This is both a strength and a vulnerability. On one hand, it builds interoperability between allies. On the other, it limits their autonomy. In fact, some defense analysts worry that the F-35 is creating a kind of digital leash, where nations gain capability but lose control. Then there's the impact on global defense markets. The F-35's dominance has disrupted traditional arms competitors like the Eurofighter Typhoon, the Dassault Rafale, and the Gripen from Sweden. None of these offer the same stealth, sensor fusion, or networking capabilities, which makes the F-35 hard to compete with. That's why even neutral countries are climbing on board. But there's a deeper truth here. The F-35 story isn't just about engineering, it's about how democracies fund ambition. This is a project so vast it creates its own political gravity, with thousands of jobs tied to the supply chain across dozens of US states and global partners. Canceling the F-35 is politically impossible, even if the price tag keeps growing. And ironically, it's working. The F-35 has already flown combat missions in the Middle East, conducted patrols in Europe, and performed deterrence flights near China. Its mere presence changes calculations. In simulations, it boasts kill ratios of 20-1 against older jets. It's even being certified to carry nuclear weapons, giving it strategic deterrence value far beyond conventional missions. But maybe the most surprising impact is off the battlefield. The advanced materials, manufacturing techniques, and software systems developed for the F-35 are bleeding into civilian industries, commercial aerospace, automotive design, even telecommunications. It's a classic case of military innovation pushing the edge and sometimes spilling over into daily life. The F-35 is far from perfect. It's over budget, often delayed, and logistically fragile. But it's also a masterpiece of modern warfare, one that's rewriting global alliances, changing military doctrines, and shaping the future of conflict. Whether it becomes a model of success or a cautionary tale depends not just on how it flies, but on how we as a society choose to fund, manage, and deploy power in the 21st century. For more deep dives into how complex systems shape our world, subscribe to One Good Fact. One idea, one moment, one fact that changes everything.